Okay, over here in our showroom, we're just going to touch on a few general maintenance tips and tricks on computerised mat cutter for those who have one out there. Very important that we keep the machines maintained and up and running, certainly during the busier periods. Right here we have the Mat Pro Ultra V, which is the actual vacuum bed, and we'll touch on the box making tool in a second, but I'll just let Alan elaborate on what to look out for on a computerised mat cutter and some of the critical points.
Okay, so this machine is, as you know, it's driven by air and electricity. So the air system that comes in here, it's no different to a V-nailer. Once again, you need to make sure that it is dry air, no water in the system at all. You do have a water catch somewhere on the machine. The second one's a lubricator. If you can see here, this lubricator is actually empty. On the new machines, there's no need for oil in any of the Ultra systems. We've got a new valve system in it that doesn't need to be lubricated. If you've got an older machine that is not moving the oil and it's been there for 2 to 3 years, the lubrication system is obviously not doing its job. Or if it has no oil, it needs to be topped up, for sure. And that's just an air-to-oil oil as well. Moving along to the tracks of the machine, so gantry runs along the tracks on both sides. You should have got a can of this Valiani spray that comes with the machine. Basically, it's just a matter of spraying into the guides. Don't go crazy with it, just a quick mist with it on all the tracks. So on the front side, the back side, there's 2 tracks that runs up and down as well. So just a quick spray on there, operate the machine backwards and forwards, and it will lubricate itself. The next scenario on the entry-level machines are these belts. So this is a timing belt on both the top and the bottom. So the tension should be about, just fit 2 fingers through. But if you find that one belt is a lot looser than the other one, it could be on its way to break. And the problem with that is, because they are toothed, you can see they do have a ribbing on the bottom. Gantry can run sideways, and if it does, you'll get grinding in the tracks, which will cause more damage.
Alan, with our preventative maintenance program, what are some of the critical points that you look for that you service during that point in time?
Yeah, well, I look at all of those scenarios. I look at any noises that are coming from the machine that you may or may not be aware of. The good thing with these machines are when they start to go off, they go off very slowly. So you may not necessarily realise what's going on, but yeah, I'll pick it up straight away. So the next lubrication is of the head itself. So the blade plunger here is a metal-to-metal surface. So this is quite important. I'll be lubricating this every 6 months or so. I'll just show you how to lubricate that. So once you've taken your head off, if you've got an interchangeable head, if you're not, you can actually take it off. So you'll notice that there is a little screw here. Just undo that. So it does have a spring on it, so just make sure you don't drop the spring. With that off, you should be able to move the blade slide quite freely. So all we need to do is just spray a little bit of lubricant on a bit of mat board or something, scrape it off with a blade, and just drip into those edges of where the blade plunger slides, and just lubricate that. Once you've done that, put your screw back in, and once the screw's in, just turn it till the thread bites, and once it's bitten, you can actually do 3 full revolutions. 1, 2, 3. It's not that important, 3 to 4. Don't just do 1 because it can fall out. If you do too much, it'll restrict the amount of throw that the blade will have. Another question that I do get is black dots that appear onto your mat boards. And they're not oil-based, no, they're not. Once we take the wheel off itself, okay, so what we have is the main wheel, and we have an axle. So the axle has like a little, it's got a Teflon coating that's built on the axle, and that's what's actually wearing off, and it's coming out of the wheel and dripping on your mat board. So every once in a while, just get a tissue and just wipe it, put it back on, or you may need to replace both of them. In most cases, you might need to just replace the wheel. So what we're looking at the wheel is making sure that it is nice and flat, no raised edge, and it's got heaps of meat. Putting it back on is just quite as simple as putting it the way we took it off.
And all these parts, Alan, they're readily available here at Anton?
Certainly are. Yep. There is a different setup for people who don't like the wheel. You can get a Teflon pad that fits on it. There are pros and cons though. If you're going to use this head, you can't cut double mats as a stacked. You have to do them independently because of the way that the head needs to move in, where you can get away with a 5mm reveal in this scenario. Okay.
Very good. I just wanted to sidetrack a little bit, but still keep on the CMC subject. One of the questions I tend to get, and particularly at installation point of a computerized mat cutter, is whether to have your computerized mat cutter laying stable, flat, or upright on an angle. What would be the advantages of either or either?
With a machine on an angle, you do definitely get a little bit less of a footprint, because you can put it up against the wall a little bit easier. But the higher it goes up, you can get some openings that will slip, multi-openings, text and stuff will slip. So flat's always good.